Hi guys, it's I'm back again, and this is going to be part 3 of my L'Oreal collection. I'm going to do them in numerical order, because I find this the most interesting way of doing it. And yeah, so these ones will be the ones in the 100 range and the 200 range that are in this kind of bottle. Not all the tops are the same, but the bottles all look the same. This is not the most common bottle to get in Australia. I basically got all of these from Cheapest Chips. They were on like clearance. They were basically just getting rid of them. So I will start at the lowest number. This one is number 108, New Money, and it is this really nice springy green kind of colour, like a new leaf green. Really interesting kind of green. I actually quite like this shade of green. So yeah, this is 108 New Money. Pretty good formula, 2 coats. Next we have two that both have the same number, 111. They both have a gold lid. They are both in this kind of bottle. They both look the same on the front, but they are two vastly different colours. I don't know what L'Oreal is thinking about recycling numbers, but it is very confusing for people. So the first one that is 111 is Tea and Crumpets, which is a very basic nude shade, almost like a putty colour. Really quite a nice formula. Wasn't really into nudes too much, and then I got a whole bunch of L'Oreal nudes and they were all pretty reasonable. So yeah, this one is Tea and Crumpets. And the other one that is 111 is Not a Cloud in Sight, which is separated a bit in the bottle, so it looks more green in the bottle. It's a pale teal, almost a turquoise, maybe aqua, depends on what you consider those colours to be. Again, it's a pretty good formula. It's a really nice colour. It's just confusing that it has the same number as Tea and Crumpets. So this is 111, Not a Cloud in Sight. They are not the only ones I have. They're the only ones I'll be showing today that have the same numbers on them. In one of my other ones, I have, I think, like 3 or 4 where they all have exactly the same number. Like 3 or 4 pairs where they all have the same number. Very confusing. This is 112. This is the Perfect Trench. Now clearly this one is supposed to go alongside this one, I would say. It's a sort of a nudie one, because, I don't know, maybe it was with that one. Might have been an interesting collection. Hard to tell because they look the same. Again, same coloured lid. So this one is kind of like a camel colour, I guess you could say. It looks quite gold in the monitor. It's not quite that gold. It is basically the colour of a classic trench. So this is the Perfect Trench number 112. And I don't know if I've got that up the right way or not. Oh well. I'm sure you can read upside down. Then we have number 114, which is Rainy Piccadilly. This is a stainer. This is a dark tealy kind of colour, more towards a blue than green. Actually quite a nice, again, the formula on most of these is actually phenomenal. Like 2 coats, opaque. Some of them you could almost get away with just 1 coat. They are that good. I actually really like L'Oreal polishes, I have to say. So this one is number 114, Rainy Piccadilly. And then we have number 115, which is Notting Hill Blues. This is a almost metallic blue. It's quite a bright blue. In comparison to Rainy Piccadilly, you can see that Rainy Piccadilly is a lot more green based than Notting Hill Blues is. They're clearly from basically the same collection, judging by the names. Yeah, so this is actually a really nice electric blue with a nice shimmer to it. Good formula again. So this is 115 Notting Hill Blues. Then we have another one which has the same bottle but has a different lid, as is white. Sort of more square lid, not like the round lid. This one is 160 Innocence. This is a kind of sheer pale cream kind of colour. Fine if you want just a fairly clean looking mani, or something work appropriate. It's also a good base for like nail art because it's not going to intrude too much on what you're actually doing. So this is 160 Innocence. It is not going to get fully opaque on its own. Next we have one that is actually a little bit disappointing, and considering how much I love most of the rest of them, it's a bit of a shame. This one is 162 Silver Sparkle. It looks absolutely gorgeous in the bottle, and it looks quite pink in the bottle, but when you get it on the nail, it just kind of doesn't. It would be great as a topper. I've clearly put this on as on its own. You're not really going to be able to get this fully opaque on its own unless you wanted like lots and lots of nail polish on your nail. So yeah, it'd be better as a topper. But I kind of just wish it was a bit more than what it actually is. So this is, it does have holographic in it, which is pretty much the only thing going for it in my mind, is that it's got holographic. So this is 162 Silver Sparkle. This is more like what I wanted Silver Sparkle to be. This is 168 Gorgeous Gold. This is an amazing gold with, it's a gold base with teeny tiny little shimmers in it, slightly green leaning, with gold hex glitters in it as well, which gives it a textured type of finish. I just really kind of like it. It reminds me a little bit of molten gold on the nail. Yeah, and there is, well then, I thought for a second there I could see holographic, but I can't. But this is, like in two coats, this is virtually completely opaque, and I think it's pretty gorgeous. So this is a Gorgeous Gold number 168. Then we have number 202, which is another one of the nudes from L'Oreal. L'Oreal does nudes pretty good. So this is number 202 Broadway Boogie. This is a dark kind of, well, it's actually a lighter camel than, say, the Perfect Trench, which you see is more yellow. It's a bit warmer in tone. This is more of a cool toned camel. So if you don't really like a warm kind of camel-y colour, you might like this one a little bit better. Really good for like office type look. Also looks really good if you do something like a floral mani over the top of it. So this is 202 Broadway Boogie. We have 205, which is Downtown Chic. This is brown. This is just a chocolate brown polish. No shimmer, no nothing, just a straight up brown polish. And it's pretty good. It looks slightly patchy on my swatch, but it is just a really good basic brown. If you want a brown nail, probably really good for fall if you happen to be going into fall, which we are not in Australia. But yeah, it's a really nice brown. This is 205 Downtown Chic. Now we have one which is clearly from a wedding collection. This is 220 I Will. This is basically just a plain ordinary white. It might be slightly leaning towards ivory, but I often use it as a white polish because although it is a two-coat white, it's actually really good white. I was actually really impressed with it the first couple of times I used it. So this is I Will number 220. Just a good basic white polish. And we have number 230 Satin Sheets. This is an iridescent yellowy cream, just like satin. You can see all of that lovely gold iridescence. It's not completely opaque in two coats, but it is still really, really gorgeous. I actually really like polishes like this. They look really good on the nail. It's, you know, they're not too intrusive, but they still look really pretty. So this one is 230 Satin Sheets. Then we have number 290 Owl's Night. Now, a lot of these are separating out because they're quite a bit older, some of these polishes. This one has a silver weird square shaped lid like the white lids, silver, no idea why. This is kind of a purpley base with sort of gold, green leaning gold. It's a bit like Mysterious Icon, only it's a bit darker. So this one here is Mysterious Icon, and this one is Owl's Night. So you can see that they're kind of similar, but Owl's Night is actually darker in tone than Mysterious Icon. But yeah, gorgeous polish nevertheless. Oops. Yeah, so this is number 290 Owl's Night. And the last one for this go round is number 291, the Queen's Ambition. This is a black base with silver sparkly looking glitters in it. It's interesting, in the bottle you see it's stuck to the side so it looks like really silvery, but then you get it on the nail and the silver glitter doesn't show quite so much. This is a slightly textured polish, so if you don't like that you'd want to top coat it. Interesting, but looks better in the bottle than it actually does on the nail. So this is 291, the Queen's Ambition. And that will be it for this particular video. I will be back with part 4 of my L'Oreal collection, and I'll see you in my next video. See ya!